prontissima.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode on our cooking channel. Always here with my mother, insert name.
Franca.
Alright, and today,
I did that. High five.
Today, you don't know, but we've been filming multiple videos today, so we are hot, we are sweaty, we are ready to make another oven baked good. But
always happy to show you another recipe.
I know, we're trying to have as much fun as possible.
Yeah,
so today, we are making a delicious
Schiacciata.
We're gonna make it in 2 different flavors. We're gonna show you, it's very simple. It's an oven recipe. It's basically I would say a 1 bowl toss with dry ingredients, with a little bit of water, adding your veggies, any choice of veggies. We're gonna give you 2 variations. You put it on a parchment lined baking sheet that's been greased with some olive oil, and in the oven it goes. This is a thin, crisp-like veggie bite. So think of thin like pita style, or a very, very thin pizza. It's very good for like entrees, side dishes,
Exactly, snacks.
appetizers, snacks, etc. So good. It's made basically with flour, semolina, parmigiano, and you'd be basically mixing all the dry ingredients with a little bit of seasoning, like we have salt, pepper, oregano, and then the liquid that we add in is
a little bit of olive oil and water.
That's it, and you do bit by bit until you get to that consistency that you want. So we're basically creating a batter. If you would think
a
of
very loose batter.
That's it. Let's say you would be deep frying pickles or deep frying something, or you know, even
that's true, like a beer batter type of
beer
thing.
batter. That's what we're going for. That type of consistency. We'll obviously, as always, bring you guys in on a closer look.
Yeah.
And for one of the 2 variations, we're choosing a medley of red, yellow, and orange diced peppers. And then we have some spears of asparagus that we've diagonally cut. But then for the visual look, we've left the stems intact just for a beautiful type of, you know, garnish look. And then we'll show you the second one later on, but that will consist of potatoes, zucchini, rosemary, classic delicious flavors. But you can use anything, whatever you have. Honestly,
that's right.
Super simple. These are the 2 we're showing you, and we're going to get to measuring our flour, semolina, and our cheese. We're going to whisk it all together and show you guys on a close-up.
Exactly. Measurements, ingredients, always
Found in the video description.
there you go.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to be preparing the 2 pans in advance. I've already almost finished preparing one, so I'm just going to finish it off by drizzling a bit of olive oil on top of the parchment. We have already drizzled some oil under the parchment to stick, and just giving it a good brushing around and around the side so that during the baking process nothing sticks.
But that's what gives it the crispiness also at the bottom, right?
Exactly. And you want to prepare this in advance before you do the mixture, because once you're done with that mixture, you're basically filling the tray up and it's going in the oven. So this is done. So I'll show you guys from the start here. So nothing's perfect, and what we do is we just use regular vegetable oil for the bottom of the pan. We don't want to use up too much of that goodness and the flavor of the olive oil.
We just want to secure the parchment paper that it doesn't move. There you go.
That's right. You want to make sure just that you're brushing up along the side, so that, as my mother behind the camera said, you don't want the parchment paper to move. And you're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to be trimming off some of the excess after, which is totally fine. So you give it a good coating there. I pre-cut a parchment. Now this is going to help it stick, and you could come closer.
Yeah, it's going to secure it. There we go.
So you're pressing it up along the side, and as you press it up, you'll just fold and lay over flat. Fold it in and just lay it over flat. Pick it up, it goes by itself. Just lay it over flat. And drag to this side. And lay it over flat.
There you go.
And now is when I go in with scissors just to remove some of this extra parchment because you don't want it,
All the excess.
all the
yeah.
excess, burning for nothing in the oven, touching like the top of the tray. So using my beautiful grandmother's old scissors, they cut like a charm. The material.
Mama non, yeah.
Yeah.
My God, those are more than 70 years old.
I love them.
Every time she worked at the factories, all the companies that she worked for, that was her scissor.
They used the scissors.
Oh yeah.
Now it doesn't have to be pretty, honestly. It's just to get some of the excess off. Home style cooking doesn't have to be perfect. There's no harm in something looking a little disheveled.
A little rustic.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
There you go. Put it to the side. Press it down a little bit more again.
Secure
And
the
now
edges.
I go in with the good stuff, the olive oil, because this is what it's going to be touching our schiacciata.
Schiacciata.
Give it a good drizzle because we don't want it to stick. So this is going to be baking in the oven for a good 40-45 minutes. We're going to give the directions as always in the video description. Every oven's different, so you got to pay attention when it's the first time you're baking stuff. And sometimes we make mistakes too. We don't grease it enough. It ends up getting stuck. The flavor's still there. It's still good. Don't throw it out.
No.
But you liberally
And I think
grease it.
the temperature is 400 degrees, right?
Yeah, it's 400, but as mentioned, every oven's a bit different. So
Yeah.
I'll have all the description written to give you a good guide,
Yeah.
but it might vary 10 or 15 degrees or so. And 400 is about, we're gonna put it in Celsius after in the description, but
Yeah, I think it's 190 Celsius, but
there you go.
Yeah.
So we have our 2 pens ready.
everything's ready
Okay.
to go. Now
And
we'll
now we're gonna move to the other side and we're gonna show you how to prepare the batter to drench our veggies in and fill up these pans and bake for this delicious schiacciata. See you soon with my mom on camera.
ciao. Bye, baby.
right, so it is ready for the oven. So what you saw as prepare was in a bowl we had started with the flour, and then we put our semolina, then we put our oregano, cheese,
all the dry
salt,
ingredients.
pepper. We gave it a whisk.
Yeah, we mixed that up well. Then we added the olive oil.
Yeah.
I gave that a little whirl, and then after bit by bit, I started to incorporate the water.
Water, that's it. Regular temperature water, doesn't have to be hot or cold, just regular
tap
tap water. And then we ended up adding by hand the assortment of peppers, the spears, diagonal spears of the asparagus, and then the tops of them as decoration as shown here. And then we did another sprinkle of oregano, and we then put lastly for a perfect crunch some breadcrumbs.
Homemade breadcrumbs.
Yeah. And making sure that you really get the edges with breadcrumb, because that'll ensure a crispy corner crunch. So good. And then the last drizzle of olive oil. And this is
ready for the oven.
Ready for the oven. It's going to be baking at 400 for about 40 or so minutes. Keep an eye on it. Every oven's different. All our directions, temperatures, etc. are always found in the video description. So in the oven this goes.
Okay. If you see that the top is ready and the bottom is still not crispy, just cover it with aluminum paper and wait till the bottom is nice and crispy.
Oh, and something that you saw us do was the spearheads of the asparagus we tossed in olive oil, because the olive oil will help it not from burning. It'll crisp up and cook, but it won't burn or char them in an unflattering flavor. So that's what we did.
We want it to look pretty also. We want it to look nice.
Tastes good too. So we're gonna put that one in the oven, and then we'll show you our second rendition of flavors.
Yep.
Yeah. So we are preparing for our second schiacciata. We are doing rosemary, zucchini, potatoes. So we had the potatoes soaking in cold water when they were sliced so that they don't brown and they keep their crispness. And now we rinsed off, we strained, took off the water basically. We're laying it on flat on a paper towel. We're gonna put another on a, not a paper towel, on a, you could do it on paper towel, good stuff. Do it on a dishcloth. We're gonna lay another dishcloth over and just press it to just get all that extra moisture off. What we did is we drizzled the rosemary with some olive oil.
There you go, now you got it.
Because before I said we drizzled it with oregano, no. We drizzled it with olive oil so that the herb won't burn when placed in the oven. And that's it, we sliced in our zucchinis, and we're gonna do the same batter that we did prior. We're just gonna be throwing in this delicious medley, and we just wanted to give the tips of keeping the potatoes once sliced in water so they don't brown, but also making sure that they're pat dry.
Definitely, they need to be pat dry, if not, they won't be crispy.
Exactly. The zucchinis nice and evenly sliced.
Yeah.
There you go, like little chip sizes.
There you go.
And everything else the same. We have our olive oil, our semolina, our parmigiano, our salt and pepper. We're just omitting the oregano because we have our rosemary.
Rosemary and water.
And our water, and then the breadcrumbs for the crunch. They're gonna be baking simultaneously at the same time in the oven. We're gonna end it with a drizzle of olive oil.
Yeah,
exactly,
and a little bit of homemade breadcrumbs to give it that extra crunch.
And a little bit of rock and roll. I'm a little bit country.
Okay.
All right, closer look to show you guys some targets.
I swear we're not drinking. Maybe we should.
Okay, see you guys soon. All right, so the second one is done. You saw us add in all the ingredients, and while we were doing it, we said, oh no, we forgot the red onions. So we sliced up some red onions. Not only does it add beautiful flavor, but it's classic potato, onion, it's a classic. So we added in some red onion. We garnished it with the sprigs of rosemary that we just drizzled with olive oil because we don't want the herbs to burn. We want them to cook and give off a good flavor, but we don't want a burnt flavor. And then the breadcrumbs, and this is our second schiacciata. In the oven it goes to finish, well, the other ones, while it finishes cooking, this one's gonna start to cook. And quickly pull them off of the parchment onto a wire rack so that the bottom remains nice and crispy. That is the goal. That's it. Nice and flat little crispy appetizer bites. So yum. In the oven it goes. See you guys soon. Here you go. Now we're gonna clean up. So they are baked, they are super crispy. You can hear. Super crispy. We're gonna be, so basically you wanna get this off of the baking sheet and parchment as soon as possible, like right away, and then put them on a wire rack so that they cool off and stay very crispy underneath. Look at that, super crispy. And we're gonna just put it on a cutting board with a pizza cutter, cut them. The corners, we made sure that we got them really well with the breadcrumbs. You don't wanna go too heavy with the breadcrumbs.
No, it's just like a light sprinkling all over.
But you wanna make sure that
you
cover it everywhere so you have that nice crunch. These are thin, thin, thin. As you can see, thin.
That's what's called schiacciata. Schiacciata means to flatten in Italian.
There you go, so flatten this, but very crispy under. These are delicious. For the rosemary, we have the rosemary one. We're gonna be removing the sprigs of rosemary because you don't wanna bite down on that. That was just for some flavoring.
Yeah.
Or you can sprinkle, if you guys like rosemary, you can sprinkle the loose herb ones, that's totally fine. We're gonna be cutting this up and trying it and showing you guys just how much of a crunchy, delicious bite this is. Let's cut them up.
There we go.
They look delicious. So as the potato and zucchini one cool off, we went ahead and fully cut into the fully cooled first one that we did, which was the peppers and the asparagus. And as you can see, super crispy, no flop, and very crunchy under. beautiful. You see the little peppers pop through. We're gonna give these little corner pieces a try. Ready?
Bon appetito. Hear that crunch? Very flavorful. Simple and flavorful.
This is how I like my pizzas, thin like this. I can eat so many slices of thin pizza like this, and although this is not a crust, it's basically the basis for a crust. The semolina and the flour give such a perfect crunch, and then for the under part, and then for the top, the breadcrumbs.
It's very, very crispy.
Listen to this.
Completely, top to bottom.
So crispy.
And then they added vegetables in between. Very, very flavorful.
Good. So easy to do. You can have fun with so many flavors.
Buonissimo.
Oh my god. I love it. So good. Sorry.
Yeah, excuse us.
Holy. So as soon as this one fully cools, we're gonna remove the decorative, flavorful parts because we don't want to munch on that branch here. Slice it up, plate it. We'll take our beautiful pictures for the end, and that's it. We hope we gave you guys the wanting to try this by watching this video. So easy, delicious. Have fun with different type of vegetables. We give you 2 variations. Our channel is always based on simple, easy recipes.
Inexpensive, very inexpensive.
Exactly.
It could take this so long on picnics also.
Very, very good. Tune and then put them in bags, freezer. Anyways, they won't last to be in the freezer. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna keep eating. Thanks for tuning in. Weekly content uploaded every Sunday from our kitchen to yours. Thanks for watching, and until next time, continue to
love it to eat.
Bye for now.
Ciao. Alla prossima. Oh, I love that crunch.
Who doesn't love bread stuff? Come on.
And I like it because it's very neat and it holds well. It doesn't flop. It's really, really good.
Thumbs up.